I was sitting peacefully on my land. Everything felt completely normal. Then I got a shocking call. "Do you know your land has been sold?" I froze for a second. I thought it had to be a joke. That I went straight to the site. What I saw was insane. Dozens of houses were already being built. Construction was running at full speed. On my land without my permission. I felt both anger and shock. That I talked to workers. They said the HOA had purchased the land. I immediately denied it. I never signed any deal. They just shrugged it off. For them, it was just another project. That I went to the HOA office. They ignored me at first. Then a woman came out with attitude. She said, "The land is ours now." I was completely stunned. How did this happen so easily? I asked them for the documents. They showed me fake papers. The signatures were clearly wrong. It was obvious forgery. But they looked confident, like they thought they'd get away with it. That I went back home frustrated. But I didn't give up. I started checking every record, pulled out old files and ownership history. The truth was slowly coming out, and it all looked illegal. I visited the local registry office. That's where I found the original records. Everything was still under my name. No legal transfer had ever happened. This was a complete scam. Now I understood everything. I went back to the construction site. This time, I wasn't staying quiet. I loudly declared, "This land is mine." People stopped and stared. The tension instantly rose. HOA representatives showed up there. They started threatening me. "Don't disturb the work," they said. I replied without hesitation, "You're the ones in trouble now." Their expressions changed instantly. That night, I made a decision. I wasn't going to stay silent. This wasn't just about land. It was about respect and justice. I was going to shake the system and make them regret it. I quietly started collecting records, pulled everything from the land registry. Every document pointed back to me. The HOA had made an illegal transfer. Now I had solid proof in my hands. The game had officially begun. I hired a strong lawyer. He reviewed the files and smiled. "You're going to win this easily." The HOA had taken a big risk. Now they were going to pay for it, and I was ready for the fight. The court case was filed. The HOA received the notice. At first, they ignored it. Then panic slowly kicked in. They realized this was serious, and pressure started building. I got the media involved too. The story started going viral. Illegal land sale scandal was trending. The HOA's reputation started falling apart. People began losing trust in them. Their image was breaking down fast. The first court hearing arrived. The HOA tried to look confident. Their lawyers acted aggressive, but their evidence was weak. I stayed calm and focused. I already knew how this would end. The judge examined the documents. Every page pointed in my favor. Forgery was clearly visible. The HOA's case started collapsing. Their lawyers looked confused. The entire room shifted in mood. The HOA tried to delay things. They asked for more time. The judge gave a strict warning. Do not waste the court's time. Their strategy failed immediately, and the pressure increased again. I presented the final evidence. The original deed was placed in court. Everyone in the room was stunned. This was the strongest proof. The HOA went completely silent. They had nothing left to argue. The judge reserved the decision. The room was full of tension. The HOA team looked panicked. I stayed confident and calm. I knew what the result would be, and it was in my favor. The day of the verdict arrived. Everyone was present in court. The judge announced the decision. The land legally belongs to the plaintiff. The HOA officially lost the case. The game was over for them. The HOA was in shock. Their faces lost all color. They talked about filing an appeal, but the damage was already done. Their credibility was destroyed, and I had already won. Now it was my turn to act. I legally moved to seize their properties. The law was completely on my side. Their luxury mansions were the target. Everything was done through legal process. And they didn't see it coming. Authorities started taking action. Property seized, notices went up. HOA members began to panic. They were forced to leave their homes. Their power was completely gone. Reality hit them hard. I listed their waterfront mansions for sale. The value was in the millions. Buyers showed instant interest. Sales started moving fast. Everything was fully legal, and they couldn't stop at point one by one. The properties were sold. I quietly collected the profit. Their entire system collapsed. Everything they built was gone. Karma came full circle, and this was a result that HOA leaders started disappearing. Some resigned from their positions. Others got caught in legal trouble. The community turned against them. Their authority completely vanished. Their system broke apart. That I stood back on my land again. Everything was under my control. Peace finally returned. What was mine came back to me, and with even greater return. This was real victory. People started learning from my story. It spread everywhere quickly. Never do anything illegal, and never underestimate anyone. Truth always finds its way. If you stand your ground, I completed the final sale. Millions were now in my account. The HOA became history. Their chapter was fully closed. I was ready for the next phase. Everything had changed forever. Sometimes the best revenge is the one done legally and smartly. I stayed patient and played it right, used timing perfectly. And in the end, I won everything. Backhand index pointing right, like, subscribe, and tell me where you're watching from.